Alright everyone, now we have to talk about the Marthasvineyard meltdown. Of course, Desantis flying in roughly 50 illegal immigrants to Marthasvineyard. It's an island off the coast of Massachusetts. It's one of the wealthiest parts of the country. There aren't that many people there because they all have massive properties. And we're talking like, the entry fee there is you're making $500,000 a year and you have a 4-bedroom home. You'll be the relatively not well-off person on your block in Marthasvineyard. It's very decorative and very posh, and it's basically like the Elizabeth Warren vineyard living. Millionaires who own businesses or who happen to be eminent surgeons or something like that. It's lily white as well, you will notice. And so there's not a lot of diversity on Marthasvineyard. I think the island needs to be improved some. Why don't you like breakfast tacos like the Biden family does? Why don't you want more diversity? Maybe you can have a Syrian restaurant or a Venezuelan cafe. They'll call it El Cubana because, you think that all Spanish is the same, so you won't know the difference. Marthasvineyard gets a handful, a few dozen people brought in. Links in the description, 2 of them. Here's your meltdown. First link is a Karen NIMBY in her natural habitat. You can see from the way she's speaking, the gestures, the lifting of the eyebrows, looking down her nose literally at the little people. When she speaks, she's talking about the housing crisis and shit like that, saying, well, this is fine, but these 50 people will have to move on soon. We don't have the resources to take care of them. And I'm thinking, if you panned the camera around and looked at her house, what would it look like? Is it a trailer or is it a McMansion? It looks like her house maybe is on the lower end of the spectrum. So she's like a retiree. She was a CEO for a startup or something, retired at 40, and now she only has a 4-bedroom home with 3 bathrooms and 5 acres of land. She's that person in the neighborhood. She's really bringing down the property prices in central Marthasvineyard. These people have limitless shoreline and little copses and little woods and rivers and shit. And they're island dwellers with, 6 or 7 figures in their bank account and 6 or 7 figures in their yearly income. Elizabeth Warren weighs in and talks about how it's terrible. The Dems are astroturfing this as though it's using people as pawns. And I could only think about one thing. Did any of you have a problem with taking illegal immigrants and asylum seekers? There is a differentiation. From the southern border regions where they were crossing under Obama, or today under Biden, it's still happening, and putting them on planes and flying them out to sanctuary towns all across the United States. I see people trying to astroturf as though this was a form of human trafficking. Are you claiming that Obama and Biden are human traffickers? Because they did exactly this. They flew them out to areas in sanctuary states and communities and put them there. Obama did this purportedly. This was, I think, 2015 or thereabouts. It was in his second term, I know. Was doing it partially on a racial basis, trying to diversify neighborhoods, trying to make sure that the new housing for the illegals, that the subsidies that the taxpayers are giving them, you'd locate it in small town America, in a place that's like 90% white or something like that. And it was considered good. And the liberals said that anyone who opposed that was against diversity and racist and bigoted. They don't like their San Antonio breakfast tacos the way fucking Jill Biden does. Her breakfast taco happens to be all mayonnaise, by the way. And she considers it very spicy. To give you a reach around, before she fucks your taxes in the ass, she'll put a couple dashes of chili powder on the mayonnaise taco. This is authentically Mexican, according to her standards. And second link, in the description, cross-platform of course, this is even funnier somehow. Apparently there are chat groups for within Marthasvineyard, and people are now at each other's throats talking about how they can take in some of these poor refugees because they've got like all these summer rentals and shit like that. Yeah, half of the structures on Marthasvineyard are seasonal. Just to be clear, most of these people have second or third homes. Why the fuck are you people complaining? Like you don't have the budget to feed these people? I think that it should be 500 instead of 50. In fact, it should be 5,000. Maybe Marthasvineyard is lily white. And if you look at the voting trends, it's like 85% for Biden in the last election. That may change slightly in the next one. He might lose control of Marthasvineyard because people all of a sudden realize that it's an open border situation's not as good as they thought it was. The funny thing is that these people in the community aren't going to commit any crimes because they're going to stick out like a fucking sore thumb because Marthasvineyard is McMansionville. That's the funny part. They're worried. There was one person in the chat group And they were like, well, they can't stay with me. I don't have the room. That's because they converted their 5th bedroom into an office, their 4th bedroom into a storage room, and their 3rd bedroom into a guest bedroom suite so that they can rent it out for $1,000 a month. And make a little extra money on the side, because these people are greedy, grifters mainly. NIMBYists, NIMBY liberals, NIMBY lily white liberals that want diversity everywhere but in their neighborhood. I bet there aren't any wind farms in Martha's Vineyard. I bet there aren't any solar fields in Martha's Vineyard. Very interesting. I bet there's no addiction rehab center in Martha's Vineyard. I wonder why. Their sheltered little island. It's like they've got a little moat around them and the rest of the world to make sure that the poor people don't come. I pointed out yesterday, and it was funny because my high school friend appeared in the live stream chat and basically said the same thing. If we showed up, you know, if I'm fucking dressed like this, I show up in Martha's Vineyard, people are going to look down at me too. I know that. I'm making a fairly decent income. I'm not Martha's Vineyard level, though. They would consider me a lower-class schlub and tell me to please stay away with my inferior polyester clothing or something like that. I know how it works. I was raised in Woodstock. There's a big goddamn divide between mainstream Woodstock's rich bitches and all the tourism shit and literally everything else in the area. Everyone else mainly suffers. I think that I would be considered lower middle class if I ever went back to Woodstock. At least I'm kind of making it. Hey, I'm capable of having a 2-bedroom home in Woodstock. You've made it in life. Sort of like going to San Francisco a little bit. Meanwhile, you look at the prices in the Rio Grande Valley down in southern Texas. I'm saying, limestone fireplaces sound pretty good. The Democrats are outraged over this. You look at the things that people are saying. It's like, I can't house them here. I don't have the room in my 6-bedroom home, but I can give them some hand-me-down clothes. Hey, we've got a housing crisis here. People in Martha's Vineyard are having problems too. I'm sorry, but when we said that we wanted these people to come in, the huddled, tired masses, we thought that they would stay in Texas or Florida or something. Not come here. Not here to the 95% white island, again, where you're not even going to be allowed to be a tourist if you don't make 6 figures. Good luck getting lunch, asshole. Nobody will serve you. You've got a black tie affair when you walk down the goddamn road to get your mail from your fucking mailbox, probably. I just find this funny. I'm having too much fun watching these people suffer, but please do watch that short video clip, the first one in the description. If you see nothing else funny today, don't worry. That'll get you some chuckles. That's about all. Peace out.